Hi guys, Mike Elliott here, aka the Worm Dragger, and in today's video I'll be putting together my latest technique specific combo, the swim bait. Now, a lot of you who aren't familiar with tournament fishing are probably asking yourself, why so many combos? From a tournament angler's perspective, I'll try to explain it for you. In our quest to catch bass, the lures we throw resemble the things that are in the bass's food chain, hence the phrase match the hatch. Not all the lures we use in trying to catch the bass, they don't weigh the same, nor are they fish the same. Some require more action in order to make the lure look lifelike to the bass. So therefore, the action of your fishing rod differs from each setup that you're trying to mimic. Now, yes, you can take one rod and change out various types of fishing lures and probably catch some fish. But a lot of the specific action in the rod will be lost. Think of it in terms of a golfer. Okay, a golfer or its caddy carries a bag, a bag full of clubs. That each club does a specific job. You could probably get the job done with one of them, but not as effective as each individual. For instance, you take the driver. It's known for, I guess, teeing off. I don't know too much about golf, but uh, it's known for teeing off. I'm sure you could putt with it, but not as effective as a putter. So a driver has a specific job, just like the putter has a specific job. And in terms of fishing, each rod, it comes with a specific action to be fished at its most effective way of using that particular technique. Now, my specific rod of choice, my favorite rod, happens to be the Loomis brand of rod. They're owned by Shimano, and the reason I like them is because of they're all around good rod, and like I was explaining to you, let me see if I can get that in the shot here. Each rod comes with the specific action, the weight of the rod, the weight of the lure that you could throw at its most effective rate. Um, this particular one that I have, that I'm about to set up, is a 7-1 medium extra fast. That means it has an extra fast tip, um, and the parabolic bend and everything is set up real nice for the specific type of fishing that I'll be doing, which is the swim bait. It you know the weight of the lure that I'll be throwing it falls between the range of an eighth to 3/8, and the line that I'll be throwing on this specific setup, it falls between 6 and 12 pounds. Another thing that I like most about the Loomis rods is they come with a lifetime warranty. And, fishing can get very expensive. And me personally, I like to buy, my equipment once and have it last as opposed to buying it, getting it out, and, accidents happen. It breaks. If this specific rod breaks, say, a year, 2 years down the line, it comes with a lifetime warranty, so all I have to do is pay a small expediting fee, send it back, and they'll send me a new one if they can't repair this one. Okay, now when choosing a reel to go on top of this combo, my first choice was the Shimano Stradic. Why? Because I already have three, and basically they perform flawlessly. The Stradics I previously owned were the FL series. Upon doing my homework, I learned that they've launched a new model, the FM series, which is what I have here in my hand. The reason I chose the new FM model is I see that they've passed down some of the features in the Stella. The Stella is the flagship of spinning reels that Shimano has. They've passed down a lot of the features in the Stella down to this new FM model. Like I said, the four new features that struck me the most and you know made me decide to go with this instead of the previous FL models is it has infinity drive. And what that means to the angler is it has more infinity drives, allows it to have more winding power. They also went with infinity cross gear, which gives the angler more smoothness. It also has the same drag system in it that the Stella has in it. And the other feature that really sold me on it is it has the anti-twist fin. And the anti-twist fin is, when you're fishing, say, fluorocarbon, and you have slack line, it has a little module underneath the spool there that stops the line from being twisted on the slack line before it's being spooled on the reel. So let's open this baby up and marry her up with my rod here and get some line and everything on it. All right, it comes with all the paperwork, the instruction, the handle, and here we go, the actual reel. All right, I'm right-handed, which is different from a lot of people. I like putting my with the reel facing down. I like putting my handle on the right side. And putting the handle on it's real nice and tight. It doesn't have a lot of play. It has no play at all. As actually, look at that. It has literally no play. All right. Now that I got that on, let's marry her up with the rod here. Try not to knock anything over. Set that down. Now on this particular setup, I'm not going to run fluorocarbon. I'm going to actually run braided line. All right, I got it on. Like I said, I'm right-handed, but in my office here, I have limited space. So I have my actual rod facing out to my right here, but it's really, really lightweight. I like it. Um, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to cut the video and I'm going to spool it, being that I don't have enough room to actual, hold the rod out and spool it. I'm going to spool it off camera and I'll come back to you guys as soon as I can get it spooled up with, obviously you can't spool the braided line onto the actual spool. I got to put a backing of say suffix that I have here. I put a backing of the suffix on the spool, and then with a uni knot, I uni knot the braided line with the suffix so it'll grip. And like I said, I'll put all that on, and I'll be back with you guys here in a second and let you know how it goes. Okay, guys, I'm back. I actually moved some things around where I could spool it here from my desk. And like I said, I took instead of the suffix, I'm using fluorocarbon. I had like maybe 20 yards of fluorocarbon left from spooling another reel. So I took the fluorocarbon spool and I put it in here, 17-pound test. And okay, I got the reel affixed to it. I flipped the bail and I tied it onto the spool. Okay, upon spooling it, I flipped the bail back as you saw me just did. And basically, you know, you wind and it's putting it onto the spool. Very smooth. I like it a lot. Let me crank down on the drag because you know, the spool is loose. Crank down on the drag. It's not spooling. It's spooling, but it's not spooling. There we go. Okay, I got enough backing on there that I'm happy with. Now I will lay the rod down and clip the line. All right, from there, like I said, I'm gonna spool it with braided line, and the line of choice that I'm going with is the Seaguar Smackdown in Stealth Gray. All right, I have the 20-pound test, which is, what is this? It's the 20-pound test translates to doesn't say right there. Okay, the 20-pound test translates to an 8-pound diameter. So that's why I put a little more than normal of the backing there to take up more space on my spool. Let's get this going here and get it started and get my uni knot tied, and we'll put this on there. Just slide it and put it in the slot, and then you take it literally has little eyes where your line comes out of, so it comes out of the box pretty straight. All right, got it locked. Okay, guys. Um, Now I'm about to tie the uni knot. For those that don't know how to tie the uni knot, I'll go over it real quick. Hopefully you can you can follow along. What you do is you take the fluorocarbon mono and you overlap it onto the braided line. Okay, you have the braided line on this end, you have the fluorocarbon on this end. What you do then is you loop it, like you see there, you loop it over itself in fluorocarbon. And what I like to do is I like to do 4 twists. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I take the tag ends and I cinch it down on itself like that. And what it does is it tightens down on itself. And it makes a real fine knot right there. All right, now I take the other end with the fluorocarbon leader and I do the same. I overlap it over the braided line and I do 4 twists there as well. 1, it's 2, It's 3 and 4. I take the tag in and I cinch it down as such. Make sure it's nice and tight, and then you have two tag ends. You have the tag in with the braided line, then you have the tag in with the fluorocarbon. And what you do is basically you take the fluorocarbon in and the fluorocarbon end that's on your reel, and then the braided end that's coming out of the box, and you pull. And as you pull, the knots will come together, and they will bite and cinch in on one another, not allowing it to slip or come undone. Um, After doing that, I take my nail clipper and I clip each end. I clip the fluorocarbon in. I clip and remove the tag, and then I take the braided end and I clip and remove the tag from the braided end. Braided end is a little more difficult to take off, but you know, I managed to do it. You take the braided end, and then you have literally one knot that's cinched together. Now that everything's in place, I placed the spool, the box spool. I had to take it off my desk and put it farther behind the camera. And basically after that, I hold on. I got to get it to where the lines come out of the box freely here. Okay, now that I got everything all cinched up and lined up, uh, here's the knot right here, and I just will wind and spool it on the reel as such. Pretty easy, right? You want to pay attention to spooling it up because you don't want it to go too far to where it's falling off the spool. That'll cause you problems when you get out and you're actually starting to fish it. So right now, it's pretty even with the spool, which is, you know, to my satisfaction. That's how I like it. And I'll stop spooling right there and tie on whatever bait that I'm gonna throw, and that's pretty much it. Okay, now that I got it spooled, uh, the jig head that I'm gonna be throwing is made by Angler Tungsten, and it's their new Eclipse. They call it the Eclipse jig head, and it's got the wire keeper, and I really like it. So that's going to be my jig head of choice. And how I attach it is I use a polymer knot, and with the polymer knot, basically you slide your line through the eye, and the hook's at a 90-degree angle. You slide your line through the eye, you bring it back through, so your tag in is on one side and your loop in is on the other, like you see here. You take it, you do a overhand knot like such. You do an overhand knot. Uh, you slide that loop over the actual bait, which you have the tag in and the line from the reel in one hand, my right hand, and basically then you just cinch it down. You cinch it down as such. You take and you give it a little extra tug to make sure everything is all nice and tight. And looking for my nail clippers. Oh, anyway, after you tie it on like that, you take your nail clippers or a knife or whatever, and you cut the tag in, and there you have it. It's all done. Okay, after having it all tied on and your tag in clip with the 90-degree hook that's there. I don't know if you can see it real well. I'll put it in front of my hand. That's the that's the angle. That's what your line tied on. That's what that looks like. So you can take any of your swim style baits, your Kitex, or I mean, there's thousands of them out there. You take whichever preferred swim bait that you like, and you thread it onto the hook, and you know, hey, you're good. You're good to go. Stay tuned. Uh, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like and the bell for future notifications, and stay tuned because I'll be going out fishing this specific setup. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish a one rod challenge, and basically what that is this would be the only rod that I have on board my boat, and we will fish this for the whole day and perfect this technique and catch bass with just this technique. So stay tuned, and I'll be coming to you soon with that one rod challenge video. Thanks for viewing.